Hi, I'm Edd China, and What Car have asked me to talk to you about vans. Why? Well, because as an engineer, mechanic and inventor, I often have to haul all kinds of stuff around the country, so I've owned a fair few vans of my own, and that means I know exactly what makes a good one. Besides, I've also invented a street-legal motorised shed, and when you think about it, in some way, that's as good as any van you might get anyway. So it's time to grab yourself a tea and a sarnie, and then let us guide you through the world of commercial vehicles. We'll tell you about the best ones, but also about the ones that aren't even as appealing as a petrol station pasty. While you're here, please remember that you can lease and buy your next van through What Car by following the links. And to make sure you don't miss an episode of my video reviews, please click subscribe below. Today we're going to be looking at something small and hopefully sweet in the shape of this, the Volkswagen Caddy. The Caddy is something of a phenomenon in the van world, and like its bigger brother, the Volkswagen Transporter, it also became a bit of an icon. The current version was introduced in 2015, bringing with it new safety and technology improvements, the sort you'd find in a Volkswagen Golf. And it rivals vans like the Ford Transit Connect, Renault Kangoo, Vauxhall Combo and Peugeot Partner. Volkswagen has a pretty simple lineup of engines these days. You can either buy a 2-litre diesel with 2 different power outputs or a petrol available in just one state of tune. For our money, the best bet is the lower power diesel, which works well with both the manual or auto gearbox options. However, for longer mileage and lighter load carrying drivers, the petrol powered option costs less to buy up front and of course emits less particulates that we're increasingly aware of and which various regulatory bodies are trying to keep away from built up areas. This 101 brake horsepower unit is definitely the best option then, but the one drawback is that it only has a 5-speed manual. It's a good gearbox with a smooth shift action, but a 6th gear would make it the ideal Caddy to have. If you can afford it therefore, I'd suggest you go for the 6-speed DSG automatic. It doesn't come cheap, but it is the best gearbox of its type on the market. Gear shifts are lightning quick and smooth, adding another layer of tranquility to what is already a comfortable van to drive. And the Caddy really does feel quiet and smooth. For a van, it's extraordinary. It almost feels like you're driving a Golf. Handling is typical of Volkswagen vans too, so you get light steering. Perhaps a little bit too light for a commercial vehicle actually, so it takes a bit of getting used to. But the way the nose reacts is at least responsive and quick. This interior is a great place to be too. I mean, look at all these classy plastics. The centre console is focused around the infotainment system, which in all Caddies features a colour touchscreen with DAB radio and Bluetooth connectivity. It also features auxiliary and USB inputs with an SD card slot as well, so it's easier to get your tunes on the go. The other thing you'll notice is that it's exceptionally practical, with plenty of spaces for your odds and ends. Got a little locker up here if you like, a little place on the dashboard down there, got another bit down here, part at the top there. It's very handy. And even though there are only 2 seats, there are 4 drink holders, so you're never going to go thirsty. The Caddy is quite well equipped too, and as is the Volkswagen way, you get a smart, sophisticated interior. There are 3 models to choose from, with the start line rather obviously where the range starts. It looks pretty utilitarian on the outside, with black plastic bumpers and no covers on the wheels, but inside there are still some nice little touches, such as a 5-inch touchscreen and a leather steering wheel that prevents it from feeling too basic. Worth pointing out too that every Caddy gets automatic emergency braking, which is a really important thing to have around town. If you want a few more toys, you can always upgrade to the Trend line, which adds air conditioning, cruise control with speed limiter and under-seat storage on both sides. Body-coloured bumpers and mirrors also make an appearance along with rear parking sensors. And if that's not posh enough for you, there's always this model I'm driving now, the Highline, and that gets a heated windscreen, alloy wheels, fog lights and automatic wipers. And the infotainment system also gets an upgrade, 6.3-inch touchscreen with sat-nav. But while the Caddy's interior is crammed full of equipment, it's not an entirely comfortable place to be. And this isn't just a case of big bloke little van. The problem is that the seats, on the start line at least, don't offer enough adjustability. There is a remedy though, which is to go for the Trendline version, which gets an 8-way adjustable driver's seat. If you plan on spending a long time behind the wheel, it is a must. You can choose your Caddy in 2 body lengths, the standard one, just like this, or you can have 470mm longer Maxi version. Now you can also get a 5-seat Caddy combi with windows here for the rear seats. We can even go as far as having a 7-seat Caddy Life MPV. And if that Life does sound like an interesting option, then you must go and have a little look at Rebecca's review of its biggest rival, the Citroën Berlingo, by clicking here. But not before we finish this video. The smaller of the two Caddies can accommodate up to a 3.2 cubic metre load volume, while carrying between 545 and 734 kilograms, depending on which version you specify. And while that puts it broadly in line with its rivals in terms of outright volume, the Ford Transit Connect can move around 50 kilograms more, and the Renault Kangoo or Mercedes Citan as much as 80 kilograms more. The Caddy Maxi adds 1 cubic metre to the load volume, while its payload ranges from 700 kilograms to 736 kilograms, on account of a higher gross vehicle weight of 2.3 tonnes compared with the smaller van's 2 to 2.2 tonnes range. A near side sliding door is standard, and this has an aperture of 701 millimeters. You can add additional sliding door on the other side as an option. The standard model's load bay is 1.78 metres by 1.56 metres, while the Maxi's is the same width but 2.25 metres long. Both vans have a load height of 1,244 millimeters, and there's no option of a high roof. Like most Volkswagen products, the Caddy also enjoys fantastic residual values, so even though it isn't the cheapest van of its type, it does mean that it should hold its value pretty well. And when you throw in the fact that it's actually so well equipped, even in its most basic of versions, that starts to feel like a pretty good deal. With the 101 brake horsepower engine and automatic gearbox, and I definitely tick the box for the Blue Motion package as well, this is an attractive, economical and pretty comfortable little van. And it feels smart inside and drives really well too. Of course, yeah, if you need to move around heavy loads, then perhaps you need to look at one of its rivals. But if not, the Volkswagen Caddy is one of the best small vans on the market. Now, unfortunately, my needs aren't full size, so it just misses out on the Edd factor. But if you're not greedy for space, it should definitely be on your list. If you'd like to see more of me talking to you about vans, then do click subscribe and we'll bring you more van reviews like this one. As a rather lovely added bonus, you'll also get to see all of What Car's excellent new and used car reviews as they're posted too. See you next time.